Everyone, this is Jolly J Boy Sportscast. I'm here with Albert, the BW Morales. Here he is. He's fighting in the Netflix card, the most valuable promotions, of course, on Ronda Rousey. She's headlining it as well. So I appreciate coming to this interview, and I appreciate Black House, the most legendary gym. Okay, you
Oof.
absolutely started. It was founded by Ed Sorrows as well. I'm going to shout him out a lot. Ed Sorrows as well. A lot of other founders started like Brazilian based as well, fighting out California and like invite only, which is pretty solid. So this is a very honored to like talk to you and speak with Black House as well. Because if it's a invite only gym and here I am speaking to you, it's like, hey, I'm taking my invite. I guess I'll just run it with it right here. So especially want to shout out like Trust Agency as well, Eddie as well. This is the best. This is like the best interview I definitely want to feel like have to have. This is the top. Is a top fighter. Okay, so how do you feel? How do you feel today?
Oh man, I'm ready. I'm locked in. I'm excited. It's the beginning. It's what? It's the, I guess you could say Monday's the beginning of the week, right? But I kind of like count Sunday as the beginning of the week. All right. I go to church and get my blessing to prepare myself for the whole week.
Yes.
So we're day two in my week, right? That means I'm 5 days away from my victory. So I'm locked in. I'm excited. Just got done with practice here at Black House MMA, and I'm excited to talk to you, man. I appreciate the kind words. And
Oh man.
you got the invite whenever. So whenever you come down to California, you're good over here.
Oh, I definitely gonna have to. I'm going to run that, especially of course. My hey, I got invited by the BW, so let
Yeah.
me in. Let me in the house over here real quick. Hey,
Hey,
I'll
that's all
use
you
it.
gotta
Hey,
say.
don't quote me on it.
Yeah, that's
I'm,
all you gotta say. And everybody's, hey, you're good. You're good where I'm at.
I'm like, y'all know Albert. Yeah, of course I do. So I can't talk about your game plan and stuff like that, but so what do you feel like is your main game? Of course you're gonna win. So I'm gonna shout you on that one right here. I'm not gonna doubt you at all.
Thank you, my
But
brother.
what is like your main plan you're gonna do? What is your base that you want to definitely use and that you send your opponent?
I'm gonna knock his ass out. Plain and
Absolute.
simple, right? That's honestly that's always the goal. The goal is to get in there and get it a quick finish. I don't get paid by the minute, right? So I'm trying to get out of there as soon as I can. Uh, but I'm a jiu-jitsu black belt under Carlson Gracie. I've been training here at Black House, so I know how to wrestle because I've been training with Coach Kenny Johnson for almost 15 years. I've been training under Coach Chewy Delgado,
Okay.
Jesus Delgado, Black Rooster, Coach Leo Souza, and Coach Jason Park. All guys that are just man, when you talk about martial arts, those guys are obsessed with it. They're from the old school generation, right? That traditional, that real, that like I'm fighting to kill type training, right? I feel like the generation has gotten kind of softer. So to have all these guys that are true martial artists in my corner, showing me all the techniques and knowledge, is sharing that to me through all these years. I'm ready. I'm locked in. I'm ready to go, and I'm looking for a big finish wherever it is. If it's a knockout, I love it. If I have to submit him, I'll do that. Anywhere it goes, I'm prepared for it.
Yeah, because I definitely did a little bit of research going and stuff like that. I realized your background in MMA is like you just mentioned before is completely extensive. It's large. You have major names that you're training with. Like straight, it's just killers. So so you got knockout power and you got submission. You're trading with obviously the last name's Gracie. So it's one of the desktops here. We have a lot of gyms here under Gracie. Submissions is amazing as well. But what I'm definitely gonna watch the fight. I definitely want to see a knockout. You're gonna knock this dude's out. And I'm not gonna lie to you. So
Yeah.
it's how does it feel to obviously mention it training on these guys? How does it feel to have like Black House has all these major title holders like Anderson Silva, Alito Machida, and like top names that was obviously built the Black House Foundation, and you're in it. How does it feel?
It's an honor. It's an honor, man. I what I say is Black House MMA, my team was my it what I say is it's my opponent's coach's favorite fighter's gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's crazy because real ones are gonna know guys like Anderson Silva, Leona Machida, the Noguera brothers, Rafael Fejao, all these legendary iconic fighters. I mean, but the those are the real ones, right? But this generation, man, if I tell you who's Anderson Silva, they're gonna be like,
No.
hmm? You know what I'm saying? Which is insane, right? But those are the founding fathers of MMA. Without those guys, we wouldn't the UFC wouldn't have been the powerhouse that it is today. So it's a big time honor, man. I remember when I first started training, I would read these magazines. There was a magazine called Fighters Only, and I would read these magazines and try to like pick up techniques and just read information. And one day I was reading on the back of it, and I saw that Anderson Silva was training at this gym because Anderson Silva is my favorite fighter of all time.
Absolutely.
And I was reading on the back, and it said Anderson Silva trains at this gym called Black House, right? And in that, within that description, it said this gym was in Torrance, right, in a hidden location. Correction, it's not in Torrance. It was never in Torrance. It was actually here in Gardena, California. But the thing, yeah, but the thing is, you could not find it. But the fact that I lived in Torrance at the time, I had moved. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, Reseda to be exact. I ended up moving to Torrance and reading this in the magazine. I was like, oh my God, I need to train at that gym. So from that day forward, it was just like I always wanted to train at Black House, and I found out that it wasn't in Torrance, and little by little, I started finding friends and teammates that were training there. But again, it was an invite only. The rule was you'd get invited, you would have to spar. If you got knocked out, oh, you'd have to spar,
Okay.
right? It's $20 to get in, and if you get knocked out, you get your $20 back. That was the rule, right? So it was something that I was like, I'll fight, I'll spar, right? And it wasn't until my first pro fight when I got the invite. I got an invite from Pedro Munoz,
Okay.
UFC fighter Pedro Munoz. Um, that's like a big brother to me. He had a fight coming up, and he asked me if I can come help him out. So boom, that was my invite. And from there, man, I haven't left. Now was like I said, close to 15 years ago, and it's an honor. It's an honor because I went from being the runt of the team to now at this point I'm the team captain, and I take very a lot of pride in that, man. And we have the best guys in the world here training right now. We got our boy Anthony the Bully Romero just defended his title at the local
Yep.
scene called Up. The show's called Up Next Fighting, the best show in California, and I feel like California is the mecca. Florida might be second place, but I think Cali is where all the where all the best fighters are. And Bully just won his belt. We have another guy named Christian DeGuerro who was also
Okay.
bred here. He just won his fight too. So we're I like to believe I'm leading the charge for the next generation, and those guys are going to be the best ones to come.
Because I imagine this because whenever you look it up and research it, of course you have the names. I feel like it's definitely it should already be there in the first place. Your name's going to be involved. Of course, you said your team captain. Your name's going to be definitely involved in like the top names of what created these fighters. Like they're gonna bring you up, and just like you brought them up, you said you wanted to fight because you read the back of the magazine. It's kind of like you're going to be the back of the like well, I guess the social media. Now you're gonna be on Instagram, so it's like maybe there's a
Yeah,
magazine or something like that. But this is why it's honored for me to speak to you because it's like you mentioned before, the new generation, it's kind of like it's not the same. But you're literally fighting in the best gym to where the fact is it's creating you have all the morals that they had. You had to the point where there is no quit, it's all just grit. Okay. Like
I
it's
like
just
that. I love that.
y'all like I definitely watched a lot of y'all's videos and I watched training your videos. Probably sounds weird, but hey, I gotta watch it because it's to the point where it's all just y'all are fighting. It's like your training is fighting. It's not just these no other videos you see. I don't want to call out their gyms, but it's like it's not the same that you compare it to of other gyms. It's more actual. You're just actually going forward. It's
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you like, you can see kind of we're here at Black House right now. Like you see these guys. Like, look, check this out. I'm gonna flip the camera just for a
I'm
split
doing. You can so
second.
good.
Let me see. I'm sure you guys know who that is, right?
Absolutely, prayer. Let go.
Come on now. So, I can just go all over the place. Look, Rafael dos Anjos, there's Pedro Munoz, Alexander Volkov, who just won this weekend, right? So, um, there's just so many fighters that have passed through here and put in work. And here locally, we're the big dogs. I don't care what anybody says, and everybody knows it because, you know, a lot of people come here and they come in, they want to train under Coach Kenny, right? They want to
Mhm.
improve their wrestling. They'll come and train with Coach Kenny, or they want to work their striking. They'll come train with Coach Chewy or Coach Leo or Coach Jason Park, right? Like Brian Ortega is always here on Tuesdays and Thursdays to
Absolutely. Oh
train with.
yes.
So it's like we have guys that come and visit a lot. I mean, a lot of the local guys want to come on Friday. They pay their $20 and they come and spar just to test themselves, right? But it takes a different kind of person to come here Monday through Friday, uh, month after month, year after year, and that's why we're different from everybody. That's why we're the best team. Oh, look at that! That's Kenny Bolt
Oh,
Wrestling
it's
right
nice to
there.
meet you. I appreciate you for talking to me. How's it going?
Yeah.
I can't hear
He said
him.
he said, "What's the LFA hat there for?"
Oh, well, of course for Ed Sorrows, so it's kind of like,
He's,
I spoke to him and stuff like that. Hey,
he said it's because Ed Suarez hooks him up. He's actually gonna have an interview with Ed Suarez afterwards. Number one in the world. Let's go. Number one. Ed Suarez, you put Ed Suarez is number one in the universe. Let's go. Hey,
absolutely.
Bull Wrestling is number one in the universe. Let's go. There, coach. Hey,
Hey, I appreciate him hopping in. I definitely want to, I feel like I was like, man, he hooked me up talking to you. And I'm like, hey,
yeah, that guy's the
it
man,
was,
dude. That's the Hey, every fighter, every like legend. I mean, everybody, they come here just to train with this guy right
yeah.
here, man. Coach Kenny has been. I mean, he was the guy that was training Anderson. He was the guy that was training Lyoto. He's a beast, man. He's. I mean, he lived at the Olympic Training Center for I don't know how many Olympic trials. The guy trained under Dave Schultz. The guy trained under what's my guy's name? Dan Gable. He's a legend in this game, and I don't think anybody ever put as many champions as he has in the UFC. He's been a part of like everybody's camp, man. The guy's a legend, and I take that with pride to represent him in the cage, And a fun fact, his name is Bolt Wrestling. That's his brand. That's BW. I'm the Belizean Warrior. That's BW. You know, everything happens for a reason, dude.
Absolutely. But hey, I appreciate him jumping in because I I like to know the guys that create the guys that I watch. Cause I'm 30, so it's kind of like the old generation is me. So it's I like to find I saw the guy that created the guys that I watch and I grew up with. So this is a complete honor all in one exact day.
That's so cool, man. Yeah,
So
yeah, it's awesome,
not
man.
like a
And,
fanboy
and,
over here, but hey.
hey, man, we're all fans. I remember when the first time I saw him. That's why it's so cool that we've traveled the world together. Like he calls me and texts me, and the fact that like I remember the first time he ever texted me just to text me or just to tell me good job. Um, I was just like, wow, like Coach Kenny Johnson just texted me, you know. He's like a father figure to me at this point. I've like I said, I've been training under him for 15 years, and I'm gonna ride with him till I'm done with this career. And yeah, it's an honor for sure. So I know exactly how you feel.
So it's like, hey, that's the reason why it's like that's why I'm honored because I'm definitely just you got a long career. It's this what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna call it. I hate to say it, but it's gonna be the point where your goals are already been set, and the fact is you're already successful. As I know that about you already been successful this whole entire time. So it's how does it? I know it's kind of like the Netflix thing. I'll jump on that especially a lot. Um, I don't. I really don't want to try to like kind of like base it off of like obviously you have different things like UFC and you have Netflix and stuff like that. But how does it feel for you to be on the Netflix card? Like it's like a new era, I would say, of MMA, like on like streaming on Netflix. How does that feel to you?
Oh man, it's an honor. It's
Okay.
it's like, like God just keeps blessing me, man. To be on the first ever Netflix card, on the first ever MVP card. I feel like Jake Paul is doing something big. I think
Yeah.
he's really, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't know if this is gonna be like, remember how old school UFC was, where we had these events, but it's like every fight on the event was like a huge fight, right?
Yep.
But they weren't as often as they are now. Now we have a fight every week, it seems like, right? Which is awesome, but at the same time, it kind of like the cards aren't as, I guess, stacked as
Yep.
So I don't know if MVP is gonna come like every 3 months, like the old school UFC, or if they're gonna try and compete and maybe do once a month. I have no idea. Um, but I saw a post actually that they've created their own ring. It's not an octagon. They're gonna have a
Okay.
hex. It's gonna be I think either a hexagon or a pentagon, but it's a different size. And the fact that they're branding their own cage, I feel like that means that they're taking it serious, right? This isn't just a one-off event. This is something that they're gonna try and grow. And if that's the case, man, I would love to be, their featherweight champion and go out there and help that, expand. But whatever it is, man, I'm looking for the biggest fights. I want to be the best in the world my time. There's different generations, right? And I just want the belt. Um, currently the UFC holds that weight, right? The UFC champion. So currently my goal is to be the UFC champion, right?
Yeah.
But if MVP comes around and they stick around and we create a belt, best believe I'm gonna call out the UFC champion and I'm gonna say, hey, let's scrap, bro. Because I'm just here to be the best. I'm here to be the best. I want to get the belt, be called the best in the world, and just retire because I know my skills, I know my hunger, I know, you know, I'm illuminated by God. So I'm just going out there and show his power, and and I want to inspire the next generation to do the same thing and follow their dreams.
Yeah, because that's the reason why I aren't speak to you, because this is like the first like MVP Netflix card as well, and and it's like I'm talking to the guy that's fighting on it, and it's like we don't know the future of it. Like you said, it's kind of like maybe old UFC or even like fights ever saw to compete with UFC or any other promotions. I would say, so it's kind of like it's an honor to the fact is it's like you're the start. Like so, I'm speaking to completely to the start of something that's going to be probably phenomenally big.
Yeah.
So
I and I'm coming to steal the show. I know it's gonna be hard competing with Ronda Rousey, the GOAT, Gina Carano, like the other GOAT,
ah,
right? Like, see, for me, like my generation was more towards Ronda, right? Like her
yeah.
mindset, her viciousness, her tenacity. I'm going against, I think, one of her like kind of like teammates, kind of, right? Because
Okay.
he's Armenian and she's kind of associated with it, but it is what it is. She inspired me as much as like she's a female and I'm a male. She still inspired me. She elevated the sport to a whole new level, and I'm honored to be on a card with her. Also, Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. I've already been on a card with Mike Perry, but like Nate Diaz, that's pretty cool. But the big one for me is definitely Ronda Rousey. I mean, Francis Ngannou's, uncrowned king. Well, but I'm here to steal the show from all of them. I'm here to bring out beautiful violence. I'm here to show that there's levels to this, and I'm on that upper echelon. I'm on that 1% level, and I'm going to bring a big finish to Netflix. Show that Netflix needs to be have MMA, and I need to be a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. You'll take the fire of the night and the promotion bonus from Ronda Rousey on her own car.
Yeah, I
Hey,
would
it
love
worked.
to. I would love to, respectfully, I know she's gonna get an. I have a feeling she might get an arm bar.
Well, she was I my first time it was like the I would say pay-per-view for UFC. It was whenever it was really high. I think it was like $85, and I was still like a teenager. And Ronda Rousey was like the first pay-per-view I ever watched in UFC, and she was the headliner, of course. And like everybody we watched all the fights that lasted long. Her fight only lasted like a few seconds. And I'm like, well,
Right?
that was that was pleasant. And I'm like, well, that was it. They're like, yeah. And I was like, all right. I was like, that wasn't we paid like $85. I'm like, well, that was too quick.
I mean, but you know what? That's what we were paying for. Like, it was like,
It was-
is someone gonna stop her, or is she gonna just break someone's arm again? And it was like she was like Mike Tyson. She was like the Mike Tyson of MMA. Like at that time, it was cool, man. It was cool to see, and it was awesome to see a woman do that. Um, I know some women fights can be like not as entertaining, but some guy fights aren't as entertaining. But when you see like greatness, you can't deny it. And I love the fact that she was a woman because I have two daughters, and I think anybody doing greatness is amazing. But if for a woman, it can inspire my daughters, it can inspire other little girls to do things, and it doesn't necessarily have to be MMA, but like there was no women's MMA until she got there, and so maybe in the future we'll have someone, a woman in NBA, or a woman in the NFL. Who knows, right? But greatness can't be denied, and I'm not mad at it.
well, she definitely is like the founder of women's MMA. That's how I always say is she's the founder of it. And of course, you said the goat. It was like
Yes,
it's yeah,
you
she
can't you can't talk about women's MMA and not bring up Ronda Rousey. I mean, like Amanda Nunez is probably like as far as accolades, and like
yeah.
she did beat the GOAT, but like there would be no Amanda Nunez if there was no Ronda Rousey.
No, she's a start. Well. How do you on out of the card so far? It's kind of like what is the one you're besides yours, of course. What is the one you're most excited for about besides Ronda Rousey? What do you feel like will be the at least third best fight
The
in the card?
the third, I was really excited for the Mariah's what's his name? Forgot the guy's name. He was the flyweight. He was a flyweight in the UFC, and then he got cut because of kind of boring fights. But I thought he was entertaining.
It was
Um,
recent though. He got cut though, wasn't it? It was like a
y-
very recent cut, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, Makachev or I don't know his name, but I wanted to see him versus the Marias, the guy who beat Demetrius Johnson. That would have been a cool fight to watch. Um, but I
I
think Mike Perry versus Nate Diaz is going to be a banger. I want to see Francis Ngannou come back and get a knockout. Um, my boy Jake Babian's on the card. He's another local guy. He's Hawaiian. Um, let me see. Let me see. There's a few good fights on the card, but definitely I'm just locked in on my fight, and I'm excited to see Ronda Rousey. So um they gave us 4 tickets, right?
Mhm.
So my daughters and my mom are gonna be there, but I'm saving 1 ticket for myself because as soon as I fight, I'm gonna leave and come right back in because I'm coming to see Ronda fight. Uh, I'm so hyped. Yeah,
You're just like, I need to cash this ticket, but she was fighting here. Well, I need to cash it in.
yeah.
It was like, but I definitely see it. I'm really excited for your fight. It's to the point where the fact is, I completely made my plans to where I canceled everything that I had just to watch your fight. And so it's like the honor of me speaking to you is like, is phenomenal. And it's kind of like talking to your coach and stuff like that. Everything talking, setting everything up here was absolutely amazing. Setting everything up. So
Thank you, man.
that was pretty
Thank
solid. It's so obviously your future. You obviously have a clear picture, but it's kind of like what does you feel like is what's next for you if it gets offered to you? What is your main things you want to take the most if it get offered to you, like UFC right off the rip, or is it kind of like you want to wait and MVP, or what would you like to do?
I mean, if MVP continues to go, I would love to be a part of that. I would love to
Okay.
just build this thing and create another opportunity for fighters to make money. They've taken care of me like the best I've ever been taken care of. I don't have to worry about ticket sales. I mean, I didn't have to do that at the UFC too, but I mean, they've been super cool. I'm very big on everything, from the shorts that I'm wearing to the shoes on my feet, to the outfit on weigh-ins and fight day, to my walkout song. That's what I was bringing this up, and they accepted my walkout song, which is actually 3 different songs, right? So for them to just allow me to express my art, and my message, right? Because I'm from Los Angeles, and this is a big deal that I'm one of the only. I think I'm the only like Los Angeles native, other than Ronda Rousey, on this card, and that's a big honor for me because I love my city. You're gonna catch me wearing either like some Los Angeles, gear, or you're gonna catch me wearing a Laker, Dodger, LA Rams shirt. Um, I love my city. I love my people, and for me to go out there and represent us in our hometown is huge for me in the city of champions, Inglewood, California. My walkout is a tribute to that too, and so I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm prepared, and I'm focused, locked in. Too
Yeah.
fast, too sharp, too smart, too focused.
Yeah, and I realize I love the fact that you mentioned because I want to get a little dig deeper of like how is the MVP promotion you just mentioned before. You just said it's your personalization, which is nice because you don't get to have that a lot of having any personalization of what you feel. And if you don't mind me asking, like what is the songs of your walkout? Like what is it?
Ah,
What are the 3 songs?
so the first song is Nobody Does It Better by Nate
Okay,
Dogg and Warren G.
okay,
Because I just want everybody to know. I mean, that's kind of geared towards the old heads, right?
yeah,
Nobody, right? And it's also a message that nobody does it better than me.
Yeah.
I'm the king of LA. I'm the king of MMA. I'm the king of the featherweight division. And if you don't believe me, I mean, I'll work my way up there, but if you don't believe me, come fight me. Um, and
Gosh,
then
I
it's
like
gonna,
that.
right?
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been in a boring fight, Even guys that try to take me down and hold me, I'm a black, but I find my way up. I don't end on the ground. If you finish me, then you finish me. But if it's a decision, then I just ran out of time. Um, so it's gonna be Nobody Does It Better, right? And then it's gonna transition to Nipsey Hussle, last time that I checked. And that song is very big to me. It's one of my favorite songs from Nipsey Hussle because it talks about um just just uh just being righteous,
Yeah.
staying committed to your grind, stay committed to your hustle. Something that I relate to Nipsey Hussle is that he did it on his own. He wasn't signed to a record label, and I actually manage myself, and I've created a lot of opportunities just pushing off my brand because I believe that nobody's gonna work hard for me as much as I am. I mean, maybe I could have gotten to opportunities because it's about who you know, but I'm gonna get there when God wants me to get there, right? And I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm not opposed to management, but I'm just like, why would I pay someone when I can do something for myself way better with respect? And so Nipsey Hussle was that kind of vibe, and that's my vibe, and I want to kind of push that to people. Work hard for yourself. I'm not saying don't get a manager, but be, work for what you want. Nipsey Hussle, I got him tattooed right here. The guy's a big time inspiration to me. And then so from there, it's going to transition to Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. And
Yes.
Coolio, yeah. And
Yes.
Coolio is not from LA, but that song is for my father. My father just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh Thank you. He passed away in March. He died from pancreas cancer, and it took him pretty quick, but it was a blessing because I mean, although like my dad passed away, there was moments that before we knew that his time was short, and he fought to the end. That was kind of heartbreaking to see that. Like he was like, don't worry, don't worry, babe, like son, I'm gonna make it out of here, right? And then we're gonna do
Yeah.
a whole bunch of stuff, right? But realistically, I knew the end was coming. And I remember one of the visits I went there to go visit because one of his request was that he wanted all of his children there, right? So I was able to go there, and all of our siblings were there. And I remember walking in, and everybody was down, right? And my dad was always the life of the party. He was a DJ. He had, I mean, so many albums. Like I remember going to his house and just listening to music. And he uh he was like everybody was down, and my dad is there just fighting for his life, and I'm just like, I told my siblings, hey man, like 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 why are we sad, man? Like let's cheer this shit up, right? So I started playing some Pink Floyd on my phone, and that was his favorite band. And so I noticed that he started tapping his finger and actually even singing the song. And then he was like, hey, play Gangster's Paradise. And so I played Gangster Paradise. And so um it's an honor for me to add that to my walkout and close out my walkout song with the Gangster's Paradise for my dad because this one's for him for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's like, and you mentioned like, hey, the cool thing is my last name is Floyd, so it's nice to meet you. That was his favorite, that was his band. So hey, it works.
Yeah. Yeah, hey man, everything happens for a reason, my brother. I swear it does.
It's like a weird, it's like an alignment of like the I don't. I guess you seem like you're spiritual, so it's like the universe and like of course spiritual and God. It's kind of like everything works in the pathway. It's supposed to happen in a certain way to the point where like it's like that's kind of I feel like I believe the most. So it's
Yeah.
and I'm really sorry condolences for your father, but it seems like you did the awesome thing of just like you're hyping him up. It's more or less if anything else like that, which is nice.
Thank you.
And it's like I'm glad that he's with you through the song, and he's been with you through the fight, man. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to dig in too deep into your life. I'm just kind of like I'm just happy, and like it's awesome that you've incorporated him in that especially at life, especially if he's like an enforcement for your life, an influencer in your life. So it's just nice.
Yeah, it's an honor, man. It's like everything happens for a reason. This is the grand stage. This is gonna be the biggest fight. of my career to the date, you know, and I'm like I said, I'm prepared, I'm locked in, and I'm excited to go out there and bring a beautiful finish, a beautiful violence. And I'm gonna walk out with my dad was actually Bolivian, so for the first time,
Okay.
I'm actually gonna be bringing out some Bolivian. I'm gonna walk out my Belizean flag for sure,
Absolutely.
but I also I'm gonna pay respect and tribute to my father by wearing his country flag, you know, because at his memorial, man, the Bolivian community came out and supported, and the amount of respect and love they had for my father, they showed me love as well. I owe it to them, you know, I owe it to them. And you want to know what else is crazy is that Belizean warrior, right? Bolt wrestling, Bolivian warrior. My dad's from Bolivia, so it's BW all the way around, man.
Absolutely.
Born winner, you know. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's man, that's the thing is, it's awesome. That's to the point like I'm able to get a story just by talking to you, which is was probably the best granted story. It's going to keep going. It's gonna be legendary. I'm not trying to hype it up, but it's to the point where I'm gonna have to because the thing is, it's like I'm speaking to like greatness in an interview, even though I'm not with you in person, but it's still the point where I'm awesome to meet you. But you mentioned to me before about like a lot of your influence stuff like that, and your what kind of like you mentioned before about how you saw like the Flyers stuff like you want to fight with Anderson Silva in your gym, but what pushed you to want to be fighting? Like what was the main platform of your fighting besides the Anderson Silva magazine?
Well, yeah. Growing up, I was a knucklehead. I actually like as a kid, as a baby, I would say around
Yeah,
to like third grade, I
yeah,
was a nerd. I was a little bit of like a geek. I was like very sheltered. My mom took care of me. My mom I was into Pokemon cards. I mean, I'm still into Pokemon cards. Don't get it twisted,
absolutely.
right? Right? But yeah, yeah, I still love Pokemon. I still play the games, but um, I would get jacked. You know, my mom would give me these chains, and I was just like a mama's boy. And the kids, I mean, it's crazy because at third grade they would steal my stuff. And I remember coming home one day, and my mom was like, "Hey, Albert, if you come," I would come home crying, right? And she was like, "Albert, if you come home crying one more time, I'm gonna kick your ass." Right? So
Absolutely.
that hit like a flip in my like a switch in my head, and I went there and I fought back, and I actually pieced him up, and then I realized, man, I got power in these hands, right? So it created a little monster because from there and then I was fighting everybody, like, and so I grew up fighting, right? And that led into being trying to be a tough guy and always trying to be cool and doing a bunch of stupid stuff, right? Eventually getting locked up, right? So I actually got locked up a few times from like 18 to about like 21. But within that time period, I ended up having my first child. And I got I got busted about like 4 months into my girlfriend's pregnancy, I would say. I think I'm not really, I gotta look at the math, but I was incarcerated when my daughter was born. So I got out, my daughter was 6 months old. And so somewhere in that time period while I was busted, The Ultimate Fighter came on TV. And normally they would cut it off because they don't want us seeing fights,
Yeah.
right? But it was on FX at the time. And which is funny because they'll let us watch movies on like, you know, Mission Impossible where people are getting their heads blasted, but yet when a fight comes on, they don't want us to watch the fight. But anyways, right? I guess maybe the guard was a fan of MMA, right? Because
Yeah.
he left the fights on. So we were watching there, and I remember it was store night, and we were playing cards. And I was like, man, I used to watch that as a kid because I seen the original UFC. I saw the first Ultimate Fighter with Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner. I saw the second one with Joe Stevenson. So I knew about MMA, but I was like, man, I like to fight. So I was like, man, I think I could do that. And I remember my friends like, hey, shut up, fool, play your hand. You know, I was like, and then that was it, man. It clicked to me. I was like, you know what? When I get out of jail, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna pursue that. And so I got out of jail. I was 21. I bought my first beer legally, and then from there I went straight to the gym, and that's all she wrote. I haven't looked back since. So it was a change of lifestyle. I wanted to be there for my daughter because I talk about my dad. My dad wasn't in my life as a kid. My mom and him separated when I was one. So I grew up with my mom. I grew up with a single mom for my whole life, you know, until I reunited with my dad when I was about 19, around that age. And so, but ever since then, like, me and my dad have been real cool, real close. I love that guy. Um, but because of his absence, it made me the father I am today. So I don't hold any grudges towards my dad. I love my dad, and I thank him from for not being there, because that made me the dad. And my daughters, I have two of them now, and they're my superpower. They're the reason why I go so hard and I can't stop, and until I get what I want. And then so that was the reason why I started training.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad that you have motivations, and I'm glad to hear from the story that created the BW. so,
Yeah,
you said you like. I'm gonna call you that. Hey, people like I'm gonna go ahead and call you that. It's awesome. It's to the point where I'm excited. I hate to hold you up all day. I know you guys been training doing stuff like that. It's coming up. So,
yeah.
so I appreciate you for talking to me. Is there anything you want to say to the audience, your audience, or mine, anything like that before we log off of this thing?
I just want to say thank you, man, for having me. Thank you for allowing me to be your first, I guess you said big name, right? But it won't be
Absolutely.
the last. They're gonna get even bigger and bigger and bigger. And then by the next time we do it, I'll be bigger and you'll be bigger, and then we'll have a even sicker podcast to talk about a bunch of successful stuff. I want to shout out to all my sponsors, my coaches, my team, um, and shout out to Los Angeles. We're gonna get a big finish this weekend. Remember, nobody does it better, and dream massively. Anything is possible with God.
Absolutely. Amen on that one. I appreciate
Amen.
you. Thank you so much. Let's go.
Yeah, thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir. There, there it goes. Hold on. I'm going to stop it.